Hello, lovely people.
Hi, gods and goddesses.
So now we're gonna cover the subject of rising up the energy, what is also called as a sublimation process. And it's one of the purpose of Tantra. We use the sexual energy, but not only, to bring this energy up, to nourish all the other chakras, and yes, to transform the sexual energy. What the purpose in general is to procreate, to give the life to the children, but of course, love making, it's so beautiful that we not only do it for making children, we want to express our love to each other, and Tantra guides us into express that love in the way that actually we're not losing the energy, how is it in typical sex, but we rising this energy up. So we uplift each other, we uplift ourselves, we bring this energy, we actually giving the birth to the baby within us, as a baby, as our love to ourselves, to our partners, as our creation. We can have a baby. This is our baby. This course is one of our baby. It's like we transform this energy into creativity, like into other creations. Yes.
So with lovemaking or sex, especially with women, where it's mainly to make babies, but we know it's for pleasure. We do it for pleasure, and for women to feel that too, as well as men, is to feel the pleasure. And with Tantra, if you're not familiar, which most of you will be, but I will demonstrate and explain this about the chakra systems. And the chakra systems are the energy points or the portals within your body. And these chakra systems are aligned to each endocrine system of the body. The endocrine systems that produce hormones are attached to the chakra systems, and the chakra systems are the energy points. The endocrine system is the physical functional part of the body.
Or the glands.
The glands. And ancient Egyptians aligned this a lot. But going back to Tantra with the energy points, so at the base or down near the sex part is the base chakra.
The root.
The root chakra. The root chakra is where you ground yourself, where you feel comfortable in your home, in your body, in your surroundings. It's also survival, and it connects you to Mother Earth. It connects you to that. The next chakra system is the sacral. The sacral is in the just below the belly button, above the pubic bone. The sacral energy, the sacral chakra, is about pleasure, your identity, your creativity, and we locate it around the sex point. So the sacral is that creative life force as well, or what you bring, that creative force into the world, who you represent in your identity. And this represents into also the genitals, or the womb space.
The root chakra, if we could say that one chakra is more important than the other one, even they are equal. The root chakra, especially at the beginning of our spiritual tantric path, is very important because that's beginning. That's where we are born from. That's how we came to that world, through the sexual act. It's very nice that that there was love before the sexual act, and so. but that's the like how we were created. We came through the yoni, through the gate to that world, sacred space, sacred gate. Yes. This is our beginning, and it's imagine the tree, and the tree have the root, the trunk, the crown, other parts of the tree. Yes, so the same is with our chakras. That's our root chakra, and you can work on the tree very much on the crown, and because that's what you see, and you can work very hard. But if the roots are blocked and if the roots are rotten, then your work is not so efficient, and that's what it's very often mistaken in nowadays spirituality. A lot of people work on spiritual aspects of spirituality, but they forget that the root, our sexual chakra, survival chakra, the connection with Mother Earth, it may be blocked by shame, guilt, abuse, addiction. So by forgetting about that, the work on our spirituality would not be so effective, because the roots are giving us the connection with Mother Earth, with the purpose of living on the planet, being the human, being the animal, the nature, our basic nature. So all the power from that life of being on that planet, we getting through the roots. All the nourishment, what we survival thing, what we getting from Mother Earth, we getting from the roots. And that's how Mother Earth is nourishing us. And so when the roots are healthy and we feel good from thankful to our bodies, that's the Mother Earth, you know, like thankful for being here, for coming here on this planet, thankful our sexuality, the way how we are came to that planet, thankful to the yoni, sacred space, the mother, the nature, the sexuality, human nature. When we are connected with this, when we are respecting it, and then it flows. This energy flows. But if we have feel shame, guilt, fear, when we are conditioned against that, all that blocked. So all this nourishment, all this like pleasure what we can get from life, all this energy what we can get from our sexuality, from our connection to our human animal nature, we cannot benefit from it. We sometimes even when we work very hard on our spiritual aspects or even on our relationship, we cannot go through because we feel lost. We don't feel connection, why we are here, what's wrong with us, and so that's why in Tantra, especially at the beginning, is very important to heal the roots, to heal your sexuality, to unblock yourself from these blockages.
Yeah. So when we have a look at the most spiritual civilization, ancient Egypt, they used to build their pyramids. I mean, their pyramids, their base, their structure were so strong to hold this energy, to hold. The more enlightened you want to be, or the more you go through the higher parts of your spiritual being, if your base or your structure is not earth, then you are going to tumble down. And that's in a spiritual, that's universal law. It's to build the infrastructure. What Michal was saying is to build that root system and get that into the core of Mother Earth, and with that, it means your identity of what you bring to this world, who you are as a person, what you represent. your how are you in your community, in your tribe? Do you have a tribe? Do you contribute? Do you feel a part of your tribe? Your world, it is connecting in to that part of you or your identity, and most importantly your identity and your connection with Mother Earth in who you are.
And what represent in you yourself as a like your body, so you feel good about your body, you feel good about how you look, you feel good about how you use your body, you don't feel shame, guilt, feel about using your sexuality, exploring your sexuality, sharing your sexuality, and you feel that this is like a very beautiful gift, expression of love to your beloved partner. You are proud of it. You are and you don't do it out of need, out of desires. That's what Tantra also transform, heal the truths from, and what we are guiding you in this course. To transform it like that, this is like gift, this is like pure, like Mother Nature, it's giving us all the food, we are giving thankful the healthy roots, our gift, and we transform it as a love, as a like connection, as a choice, not need, not desire.
And to be okay with your humanness. Because when you go through that initiation of being okay with your humanness, and to be able to just put aside those guilt, shames, whatever it is, and to be able to just tap into that vital force and allow it to come up into the base is the key, is the magic, is to find your identity, to find your animalness, to be okay with that. Because we'll talk about then when you go through that, you'll be able to go into the higher points of yourself, or that God and Goddess energy. The more you work on your base, the more higher you will go.
So yes, we mentioned that all the chakras are equal in Tantra. We don't favorize one aspect above another, but of course because of our individual choices also, and it's or our path, and the moment where we are on our path, we may be focused on one chakra before another. So at the beginning we heal the roots, but also like in Tantra we work a lot. This is power of like the Tantra, the love chakra and the heart. That's
if you do favor one particular chakra and another one is blocked, just say you favor the heart, but your solar plex is crippled and dark and icky, how is that energy going to rise up through that solar plex into the heart? It's not, it's going to be stuck here. So what normally happens energetically is you hold a lot of your tension in the belly. You hold a lot of, and that energy can't disperse through your whole channels. So you hold a lot of fire here, a lot of anger, a lot of built up emotions.
So yes, the energy in Tantra we learn how to it circulates up and down. So we work on all chakras that it may circulate, that it can flow from the universe to the root, and from the root from Mother Earth to the universe. So that's why it's important to work on all chakras and let it flow. Yes, we say lower chakras and the higher chakras, but always remember that they are all equal aspects of your being, of your life, and yes, you can have more connection, more relating to another one, but you can also be aware that if you don't feel attraction to the other one, maybe there is a blockage, and that's what you have to actually work on. Yes.
Yeah. And we need to have a look too. I mean, we've got the lower chakras, which is the base, the sacral, the solar plex, Then you've got the portal of the heart. The heart is the most important because once we activate that portal, then we can really go into our divineness. It's the portal to
It's
everything.
connection.
So it is the portal to the universal, everything, and then it allows you to go into your higher chakras, your higher dimensions.
All the chakras are connected with different aspects of our life. So, as we said, the root chakra is connected to our survival, and root chakra and sacral chakra are the most sexual chakras. But yes, the root is on the survival, so it's on the needs, like hey, on the procreation to maintain the human species and so. But like if you are healed with your root chakra, if you learn through Tantra how to use it above this animal instinct, what is also very important and beautiful, but when you learn how to let it flow through the chakra, how to transform this sexual energy into higher chakras, then you can bring it to the second chakra as a pleasure, and this is more feminine aspect of our sexuality, sensuality, intimacy.
With if you haven't worked on your base chakra, for instance, when we get that tingle in our genitals, or that it's our base activation, it's this tingle, and a lot of people just think that, oh, I'm horny, I need to go and release this. It's like this drive to release it. But that energy, if you actually earth that, and I do teach that later on, but if you do earth that and you know how to activate this base chakra and bring that vital force and be able to bring it through and nourish the other chakras, then you're on the path to Tantra. It's not, you need to understand your body, and it's the Kundalini awakening, that tingling. It's not just oh, I'm horny, I need to have sex, I need to It's like knowing, hang on a minute, this tingling, and knowing what to do with it. The Tantra path is about being able to activate that and bring this beautiful energy into alignment. Yeah.
So yes, in typical sex we lose this energy through the peak orgasm, and we keep it here. But with the Tantra we bring it higher, and we nourish all ourselves. This sexual energy, the strongest energy, what creates life, we bring this life energy into ourselves. We let it circulate.
Mm. Yeah.
The sacrum, it's the more feminine aspect of sexuality. So sensuality, intimacy, slowness, and pleasure. Yes, not just for survival, not just for needs, but to just enjoy the pleasure. So yes, what is very often blocked by guilt and shame, because that's how we are conditioned, that something what gives us pleasure, we used to be judged that hey, and that brings the guilt, or something what brings us pleasure, we should be maybe ashamed about. And so blocking this chakra is to get rid of the shame and guilt, and that's what you do by first building the trust with your self and the partner, and allowing yourself to go into this vulnerable state when you feel the shame, by observing it, like and allowing it to be, but staying in the situation, it loses the power, it dissolves, and it have less and less control. And then you, after a while, you may see like, oh, like I'm not shameful anymore about that and that. I'm not. I feel free. I'm liberated my shame and so. But very important in this during the practice is that you don't push each other. Yes, everything you have to just okay. Like you have the blockage there. Yes, so we found variation that we both feel safe and comfortable to work on it.
With the sacral chakra too, so we've just talked about the root chakra, which is connected to the earth. So it's an earth chakra. It connects us to Mother Earth. The next one then goes into the sacral, is water. It's a water element. It's more feminine. So this one is, we know this because, I mean, the sacral is in, for females in the womb space, men is in that part of the sex as well. But we see this in the fluids that we also produce as well, in the physical, those fluids, the fluids of the baby in the umbilical cord, we come from the water, we come from that womb space. So that's the physicality, but also with the sacral is all about that creative spark. We've gone through that base chakra of your true core identity. Then we're going into the sacral of, also it's an expressive, because it's feminine, it's an expressive of who is my identity, and being able to explore that in all its sensual, sexual energies and creativity as well. So we have a look at too with, and we'll go into this later on in our more advanced course, but we do have a look at with the chakras. The most feminine chakras is the crown, is the third eye, is the heart, and the sacral. And for the male is the root, the solar plex, and the throat chakra.
And the crown. As well.
Yeah.
So, yes, talking about feminine and masculine, yes, they are complement, attract each other. The most active in men, in general, they are less active in women. So that's like plus and minus in magnet, they attract each other. That's how we attract each other. Yeah. So that's important for you to know.
Whatever gender you do represent, or whatever, if you are in a gay couple or whatever, but it's that whoever's more dominant in the masculine or feminine, it sort of locks into that union in Tantra. Union.
And that can vary, of course, from the person to person. So, and from our development and work on chakras and being comfortable with different aspects of ourselves.
So the next chakra is we've got the base, the sacral, and now we've got the solar plex chakra. And the solar plex is all about that fire, that passion, that drive, your power. This chakra represents the fire element. So we've got the earth, our base, our water, which is the sacral, that feminine, and our solar plex, that fire in our belly. You know that saying, the fire in the belly. This is, and it's also a masculine chakra. It's got that force, that drive. So this is in here, this is that drive, that our power center.
It's like a sun. If it's not too much, it gives us the life, it gives us the power, it gives us the warmth and nice feelings. But if the fire is too much, then it can burn us. So it's one of the most masculine,
The
chakra.
The solar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's about the inner power, the inner strength, your strong will, and so. And with the power, it's like with the fire. If you abuse the fire, if you play with the fire in the wrong way, it can burn you. And the same with the power. If you try to abuse the power, then it works always against you. So if you allow the power to abuse you, it will work against you. So you kind of have to really feel like, hey, it's very strong element, the fire, but it's also, yes, you have to know how to play with the fire.
It gives you the backbone of who you are, that to be able to show up in your power and your identity once you've gone through those processes of being to stand in your true power, your backbone.
So yes, and it's your passion, and for men especially, it's so important to feel what is my passion, to find your passion, to follow your passion, and so when he follows his passion, he kind of fulfill his purpose in life. He can nourish that not only himself but also the partner, the relationship. It flourishes from like a satisfied man who is following his passion, and he is shining the example like sun to the others. Hey, look, this guy follows his passion, and everybody's like, whatever he does, you know, if he is doing it with the passion, and he's connected with like other aspects with the heart, and so like if this go align with him, the partner, and the all, then his passion is serving the humanity, not only him. So this is very important, this balance with the fire that is aligned.
And it's your confident power as well. It's a confident chakra too. Like I said, that backbone, that power to show up and to, like Michal said, the passion, to be able to show the world, to shine your light. It's the solar disc, to shine your light. All the chakras are lights, light centers, or the light beings, the portals in our bodies, but this particular one is about delivering who you are. So the heart is the portal. It is that. So we have a look. We have, if you have your history, the Christians or Catholic or the crucifix is the center point, or the ancient Egyptian or the Ankh. It is that center point, and that center point is the portal to, or the doorway to heaven. It's the portal. So once you open that door or that heart, it allows you to ascend. But if you haven't built these other chakras up as well, or allow that flow or clear your channel, and you bring that energy up into the doorway to heaven or that portal, it allows you to peek through into the cosmos, into the universal energies or the higher chakras. Yeah.
So yes, it's the connection between the higher chakras and the lower chakras, and
heaven and earth.
Yes, heaven and earth, and the energy flows both directions, and like that connection, chakra, heart is very important. But it's also like about connection within yourself. That the connection with the mind and spirit and body and sex, connection with your partner, connection with all. Feeling love to ourselves, feeling love to the partner, loving our family, loving the nature, loving the animals. It's all about love. And as more like love circulate, then it nourish us back. So the love is like unconditional power in the universe. What it's unconditionally feeding us, and so as more we allow it to circulate, then it coming back multiplied, and so that's why like the power of Tantra is the love, like loving ourselves, loving our body, loving our mind, spirit, accepting ourselves, and the same expands to our partner.
With the heart chakra, and I will go into detail more in the women's corner, but if we really truly unlock this portal and open our hearts unconditionally, allow the shit to go and really live in the heart, allow every sense of the heart to be activated, to taste through the heart, to see through the heart, to feel through the heart, everything, we activate that heart, then we allow more pleasure through our cells, through our life, through our body, our vital force, and love making will be heightened even more, like even more. You'll feel it, because the heart is all about feeling. It's all about feeling and connection. So to be able to unlock that portal in love making, it's an orgasm in itself. And I always talk about the heart has, or the G spot in the heart, it actually has an orgasmic energy center in that. Because when it's touched, it's orgasmic in itself. So it's very important in Tantra to be able to use that. It's not favored, but it's an important element to it.
For me, Tantra is love, love is Tantra, love is everything, love is divine, and so. As I'm saying very often, one of the strongest purpose of Tantra is to learn how to love and doing it. But also I will give you a few other advice connecting to love. One of our prayer, what we start and what we dedicate our life to the tantric practice is that let the love flow through me, and that's make this beautiful protection, beautiful space that I dedicate whatever I do into the love, into this strong power, divine power, what serve the humanity, universe, me, my partner, and so. And the other thing, nice advice connected with love, what I follow in my life and what I would like to share here with you is like, whatever you have dilemma and you don't know what to do, what decision to make, and so I'm asking myself, what the love would do in that situation. And that's really, when I look into my heart, when I feel, it's not the mind thing, when I feel, I follow my feelings with my heart, and so I'm always, it sometimes can be challenging decision, and so, but love is this power what you sometimes have to bite your ego and do things what are like against all your conditionings, all your attachments. And that's what actually power of the relationship gives to us, because we love our partner so much. We are able to have this power out of that love that let go of the attachment, let it go of the desires and conditionings from the past. What yes, thankful the connection, thankful the relationship, we choose to let go our unhealthy ego. So that's
when we have a look too, we have a look at the masculine. Now the masculine, when it comes to sexuality, he has a lot of energy and holds a lot of energy in his sex. And for females, they hold the energy in their heart. For a woman to be able to open up her portals or open up sexually, she needs to feel loved here. So, and for a man, for him, his energy, he needs to go through sex to feel love. So with this, he holds a lot of energy here. Through Tantra, he allows that built up energy to come up into his heart, to be able to use this energy and allow it to flow. And later on, we will teach you, also in the Woman's Corner, I will teach you, the woman is also allowing this energy, this heart energy, to come through down into her sex, and to be able to nurture this, so it's this constant flow within the union, and whatever you are, if you are in a gay relationship where you are both male or you are both female, or you're in a heterosexual couple, it doesn't matter. It's using those energies to come through and allowing. So the heart is very, very important in sacred sexuality and sacred union.
Yes, and in the Brotherhood Corner, we also teach you about the opening the heart, because that's the main step forward to be able to connect with your emotions, connect with your vulnerability and with your heart, to let the energy flow. So yes.
Yeah. So the next chakra we will talk about is, then it goes up into the throat chakra. Now the throat chakra is all about expression, communication.
Communication in the context of receiving and giving, so speaking out in the way that people understand you, listening and hearing and understanding the things between the line, real message, what is behind the lies, what sometimes over communication is trying to push into us. See the inner truth of ourselves and the truth what there is. So communication is about throat chakra is also about expressing yourself, your real self, not only through the words and so, but through any expression you feel, maybe through the dance, maybe through the paintings, maybe through some your creative work, maybe just through I don't know, shouting out, but letting it out, you know, through the sounds. We used a lot sounds during the practice, and that's very important in tantric practice, to make the sounds, to release, to let the throat chakra to flow.
Yeah, no matter how it sounds, allow that authentic voice to come through with your sex. It doesn't have to be a certain typical pornographic orgasm. It's whatever, allow that body to come out, that expression, that voice. Now we have a look at, we said that the base is the earth, the sacral is the water, the solar plex is the earth. Now the heart is the air, the throat is the ether, or the connection, or the expression. The ether is the higher chakras. It allows that next point of the ether to allow to connect with the God and the Goddess and the expression.
So in Tantra we have to realize that the throat chakra is very often called as a so-called bottleneck. It's one of the most blocked chakra, because in many cultures, like for example in my country, they used to say like that the fishes and the children, they don't have voice, but many conditionings like this, we block our throat chakra, we blocked our expression, and we condition ourselves that we should limit our expression, we should limit to speaking out our inner truth. And so If you look at the human body, physical but also energetical, the throat is the most narrow point of our body where the energy have to flow through. And all the plumbers, the pipe workers know that when there is blockage in the flow of water, that usually it is in the most narrow parts. And that's what is happening in our throat chakra. Very often it's blocked by all these conditionings. And the way how to unblock it, it's use it. Just let it flow. Yes. So express yourself. Do singing. Do any expression. Speak out. All in the moments when you feel that there is something what you want to say, and you almost like choking to not to say it. That's the moment when the blockage is showing off. Yeah. So in that moment, actually the best for you, for your spiritual growth and for your freedom of the flow of that energy, what is like, it's to speak out. In these moments when you're choking off, like from the speaking out, that's the moment when you can do the tremendous healings. And yes, expressing ourselves, like we are conditioned, like all the neighbors are listening, and so we do it shamefully, our love making. And like from beginning when I started to teach, I said to all my students, hey, be proud of who you are. There is nothing wrong with love making. And when you express yourself with your sounds, you will encourage to liberation your neighbors as well. They will feel free as well.
So allowing in lovemaking, allowing, no matter what it sounds like, if you sound like a damn animal, whatever it sounds like, yes, allow it to come out. Allow that snot or the tears or allow yourself to express and allow it. And no matter what it looks like, it doesn't need to look like porn, or it doesn't need to look a certain way. It needs to be felt. It needs to be expressed. And that will allow that expression or that blockage to sort of pop away.
Yes, the keys in Tantra for the flow of energy, it's like the sound, breath, and the movement. So when you allow the sound to be expressed, you let the energy flow much easier. And yes, we talk more specifically about the sounds than the words, mind talking especially about the subjects what doesn't relate to the love making. It's not indicated, so that's why the sounds is, yes, that's the expression what we are talking about. Yeah. Now we going into the next chakra, what is beyond the elements, and it's our third eye, and it's a lot about the intuition, what is connected with our imagination, with our fantasy. And yes, very often we killed this our psychic powers in our childhood, because yes, people nowadays don't believe in these powers, what actually we are gifted in our lives, and we disconnect when we grow up. So intuition, clairvoyance, but I will give the voice to the expert in this.
Okay. Well, the third eye. So when it's the God eye, isn't it? It's when we've brought up these channels, these energies, when we allow that energy from the back of our throat and connect it into the pineal gland, it acts like a seat, or the seat or the throne for the God eye, and we are able to penetrate and see the world in a different light. When this is really activated, or people say, oh, I've awakened, or I want my third eye stronger. I want it's to see through illusions, to see the beauty, the life you've just activated through the heart. It's that intuitive seat. It's to be able to the all eye to see. So this is a very, very important chakra. They all are, but especially to be able to be the beacon of light, or to see through the veils of illusion, to be able to see yourself of who you truly are and what you give to the world, and to be able to utilize that light. When this is really truly activated, you will, going through those initiations through the chakra, you will be able to be that light, and to be able to journey then, and to be light for other people. So this is a very crucial chakra to activate, especially in love making. I will say that this is probably one of my activated chakras. They're all quite balanced, but this, because I'm a clairvoyant, this is always, I'm using this always, constantly, always, day in, day out. So especially in love making, this is very activated. So when me and Michal, we will make love, this is turned on straight away. So I'll be in orgasmic pleasures, where I'll be having visions of all these beautiful things, of heavenly realms, and so it is an actual beautiful chakra to be awakened and replenished, and yeah.
So yes, very often we kill the capacity of this power of the third eye, and seeing through the intuition, clairvoyance, and so also by too much informations, too much like when you watch the movie, for example, you kill your imagination by like everything is there shown how it is, but like in contrary, when you read a book and you have to imagine how the scenario is, and so then you develop your imagination, and then you are connecting, like there is very thin line between imagination and intuition. So by allowing your imagination to flow, you can get connected with your strong intuition powers.
The intuition as well, I'll add to that with Michal, is the intuition is its truth. It is being tapped in, or sitting at that God throne and the all-seeing eye. When this is really activated, and I'm going to talk about this in the Women's Corner for women, or that cosmic orgasm. So when this is really activated, that heart, and we can go into these channels, into the third eye, this opens us up. When we can really activate this chakra, is also the doorway to cosmic orgasms, to be able to see and melt into. We know that the pineal gland produces DMT. It's that that nectar that is released just before we die, and it allows us to awaken. And our third eye, or they say that flash of light, it also can happen in love making. I mean, we do produce DMT within our body, but if you can really activate this part of the third eye, you can actually go into orgasmic orgasms, and going into and seeing the light and coming through. I mean, for instance, there was a time, I'm going to share, some stories now, but there was a time where me and Michal made love, and I activated and had full cosmic orgasms to the point where I went into the cosmos, flew into the cosmos, or shot into the cosmos, where I was seeing the Anunnaki, or the winged ones, flying around, working their magic on Earth, and seeing all these things. I mean, as I was having cosmic orgasms, you go into like another realm. And this is, I will teach in the Women's Corner how to unlock these portals within your body. So yeah, but the third eye is quite powerful. They're all powerful once they are worked on, which will add a meditation in there to work on your chakras. But once that's activated, once you get your Kundalini channel clear and activated, there's no stopping you. The sky's the limit. Yeah.
Yeah, there are no experiences what Tantra might not give you, what another substances may give you. Tantra can activate in you DMT and your internal journeys in the way that yes, you have it all in your body, you just let it flow.
In ancient Egypt, like I was saying, they were very heavy on and their belief about Tantra, or the energy systems. And they believed in the chakras aligning to the endocrine system. And when we have a look too, we can produce, with our chakras, we can produce our own hormones and release that. Now, there's different types of monks all around the world where they are actually able to do a meditation with the third eye and produce, it's like this, the nectar of life, and it is DMT, and it'll drip from the pineal gland down to the back of the throat and produce an euphoric energy, or that cosmic orgasmic energy. Also too, I will show you women in the Women's Corner to be able to produce your own oxytocin in the womb, into the sacral, or into the base as well, from the pineal gland. So activating these chakras to be able to produce your own, once oxytocin, we know oxytocin is the orgasmic love hormone. So to produce that in your own womb, allowing that power, giving you the power back to be able to produce your own hormones in your body. And instead of going out and buying hormone creams or hormone replacements, to be able to do that. So ancient Egyptians, in Tantra as well, used to know the secrets of how to produce their own hormones, or to activate that portal in those chakras. So the third eye is very important.
So I would like to refer here to, I see very often in internet recently beautiful guidelines about how you can, by different activities, produce the happy hormones and so on. And that, like, for example, like by melting hug, you produce the oxytocin and so on and so on. So I miss always at this messages that actually through tantric lovemaking you produce all these happy hormones, serotonin, DMT, dopamine, and yes, by being in lovemaking, in tantric lovemaking, actually what we are proud of being in our relationship, we are in this bubble of happy hormones and happiness all our life, and without need for doing those activities, and yes, for sure, without need of taking any substances outside. We have it within us, but with
activate it.
our partners, and with the love we are able to multiply that. And that's what is also what we are talking about, nourishing our chakras. Yes, so we nourish our chakras with the qualities of that energy what we are transforming, but also like on the physical aspect of it. Yes, we nourish all the glands with these happy hormones, what we can produce with our beautiful love.
And when and you'll see when you first go into a relationship, it when you first fall in love, it's dopamine. It's dopamine that you are high on it. It's a high like cocaine, and then after a while in a relationship, that dopamine level starts to wear off, and life happens. Shit happens throughout your life, and you forget to make love with your partner and reconnect. This is why we're doing the couples tantra couples retreat, is to keep that dopamine alive and to make love every day, or at least once a week, at least connect in. I mean, the more you bring that dopamine up, the more the world is going to be more colorful.
Yes, and what we are guiding you into this course is like to keep this honeymoon through all your life, and to keep the spark of excitement, spark of love through all your life, because that's what it's a relationship for, to grow, to rise in love.
And that doesn't mean to say that everything's going to be happily ever after either. That's why we've got communication and intimacy, intimacy part of this course, because you will see the shadows, you will see the triggers, and we'll be able to give you those to be able to help through and elevate that relationship to the next level.
But that's also like the power of nourishing your chakras instead of losing it, nourishing the love, the connection within yourself with the tantric love making by sublimation, but bringing this energy up to the all chakras, and especially into love and into connection. It will help you to go through these triggers, through your shadows, through the challenges what you have to rise through, and yes, with support of and awareness of conscious relationship, what we are guiding you into, you would be able to rise in love and keep rising in love, even through these challenges what are yes, you probably repeating to going through it from relationship to relationship through all your life, and now yes, we're giving you the tools to, hey, time to go through it and live happy ever after. That's what
it's about.
Yes.
So the next and last chakra, I mean, there's other chakras, but we're going to stick with the basic traditional chakras. So the next chakra is the crown chakra. The crown chakra here, or the seat, the opening. And this is connection to the universe, the connection to your higher realms, your God, your goddess,
to the divine.
To the divine, to the divine. And so this one is the most beautiful. A lot of people like to stay in this because it's euphoric. A lot of people like to spiritual bypass these days and just go straight to the crown, forgetting about the other chakras. But once we work on all these chakras, this is the icing on the cake. This, because it connects us to heaven. It connects us to heaven on earth. Yeah.
So it's this like from the 6 and 7 chakra, those chakras are beyond elements, but the 7th chakra is also beyond the genders. So here the feminine and masculine, they melt into the oneness, and that's the connection with the oneness. Like that's the crown chakra. It goes into the oneness with all, on all aspects, on all polarities, receiving, giving. It melts. There is no separation anymore. So there is no separation between you and the divine. You are all one, and that's how you feel, and that's what Tantra gives you as an experience through the tantric cosmic universal orgasm. You can experience this beautiful truth, beautiful teachings what many religions are sharing.
So when you look at
transform it into the real experience, and then you know about it. You don't believe anymore.
When you look at the crown chakra too, it is that godliness and goddessness about us. And then what Michal was saying, it allows, when God and goddess come together, it brings totality into our full heavenly force, our full being, our oneness of who we are. And we aren't separate from anything. We are all one. And the chakras keep going on and on, but we will just talk about the crown chakra for now, and the heavenly opening in the portal. And yeah.
So we are feeling complete within ourselves, complete with our partner. There's no separation. We feel as a one. Head, body, head ecstasy. It's like my ecstasy. It's like beautiful feeling. But there also, like, we feel there's no separation with all. So this samadhi, nirvana, what some teachings are naming it, you have it as an experience. And when you feel this experience, you know that, hey, I experienced it, so you know you are not believer anymore. Then it really transform all your life understanding. It's like I want to see you happy, because when you're happy, I'm happy. I don't want to harm anyone because I know we are all one. So I would rather to comfort, to uplift.
It's like when the lid has been blown off, or the roof has been lifted off. It's that awakening, or that, or I'm going to say it again, orgasmic, universal orgasmic awakening in lovemaking. When we bring that, when we bring it up as well, but also bring it down as well into the body. Yeah.
So yes, I would say this is our maybe we can call it higher self connection or angelic experience of being, of our being, what we are, the angels. But yes, because we are human beings here on this earth, so we cannot be always there. But this experience of having that, knowing that, hey, actually this is it, you know, this is what is the reality, that we are all one. It can give, empower our life on this planet with the purpose, with all the chakras. So that's where the energy goes downward, like what the energy from the heaven, from the universe can nourish our life on that planet, on that earth, also as like all aspects, like also the animal aspect of surviving. It can help us with the surviving if we know how beautiful it's the truth.
We are the center points between heaven and earth. Our crown chakra is our heavenly portal, our divine, our higher self, our ultimate higher self. Our base is our animal. What connects us, some may say our lower self or our animal self, to be able to be okay with our animal selves, our shadows, our the underworld, whatever you want
Nature.
to call it, nature. So we are the center point for that heart, the center point, and being able to bring both worlds together and being that channel. And this is what lovemaking is,
Using the potential of everything.
being the
and
center point.
sharing it with
Yeah.
love. We
Yeah.
love it, yes.
Yeah.
That's what we wish to guide you as deep as possible, and that's what we are sharing here.
Blessings.
Mhm.